Glass pipes can be joined by A. Flanges, B. Welding, C. Soldering, D. Bell and spigot joint. The correct answer is bell and spigot joint. If two capillary tubes of dia 0.5 mm and 1 mm are dipped in a pot containing mercury, then the rise of mercury is A. Same in both the tubes, B. Greater in 1 mm dia tube, C. Greater in 0.5 mm dia tube, D. 0 in both the tubes. The correct answer is greater in 0.5 mm dia tube. For laminar flow of a shear thinning liquid in a pipe, if the volumetric flow rate is doubled, the pressure gradient will increase by a factor of A2, B2, C2, D12. The correct answer is 2. Weber number is the ratio of inertial force to force. A. Surface tension, B. Gravity, C. Viscous, D. Elastic. The correct answer is surface tension. The curve of metacentre for a floating body, the curve of buoyancy. A is always below, B is the evolute of, C intersects at right angle, D is tangential to. The correct answer is the evolute of. At what value of crank angle roughly no flow of water from or into the air vessel takes place in case of a double-acting reciprocating pump? A. 40 and 140, B. 45 and 60, C. 90 and 80, D. 20 and 120. The correct answer is 40 and 140. The range of a particular rotameter can be increased by A. Use of floats of different densities, B. No means, C. Increasing the diameter of the float, D. Decreasing the diameter of the float. The correct answer is use of floats of different densities. Which of the following is dimensionless? A. Angular velocity, B. Fanning friction factor, C. Specific volume, D. None of these. The correct answer is fanning friction factor. A liquid is pumped at the rate of 600 liters using 1000 rpm. If the rpm is changed to 1100, the liquid pumped is liters. A. 600, B. 660, C. 1.1, D. 60. The correct answer is 660. A compressor that takes suction at a pressure below atmospheric and discharge against atmospheric pressure is called a pump. A. Sump, B. volute, C. Vacuum, D. Submerged. The correct answer is vacuum. A bed of spherical particles specific gravity 2.5 of uniform size 1500 m is 0.5 m in diameter and 0.5 m high. Impact bed state the porosity may be taken as 0.4. Erguns' equation for the above fluid particle system in SI units is given below. PL 375 x 10.3 V ohm 10.94 x 10.6 V2 ohm SI units. If water is to be used as the fluidizing medium in actual operation, the above bed has a height 1 m. What is the porosity of the fluidized bed? A. 0.2, B. 0.5, C. 0.7, D. 0.8. The correct answer is 0.7. Dimension of kinematic viscosity is A. mLT1, B. L2, T1, C. L2T, D. L2, T2. The correct answer is L2, T1. A streamline is a line in flow field A that is traced by all the fluid particles passing through a given point, B along which a fluid particle travels, C such that at every point on it the velocity is tangential to it, D none of these. The correct answer is such that at every point on it the velocity is tangential to it. While starting an axial flow pump, its delivery valve should be kept A. Open, B. Closed, C. Either open or closed, D. None of these. The correct answer is open. Forces do not act in case of fluid flow. A. Elastic, B. Tensile, C. Vibratory, D. Centrifugal. The correct answer is tensile. Non-colloidal solution is an example of the fluid. A. Non-Newtonian, B. Newtonian, C. Dilatant, D. Pseudoplastic. The correct answer is Newtonian. Boundary layer separation is caused by the A. Reduction of pressure below vapor pressure, B. Reduction of pressure gradient to zero, C. Adverse pressure gradient, D. Reduction of boundary layer thickness to zero. The correct answer is adverse pressure gradient. Identification of pipelines carrying different liquids and gases is done by the of the pipe. A. Diameter, B. Color, C. Altitude, D. None of these. The correct answer is color. Pick out the correct statement. A. Human blood is a Newtonian fluid. B. A Newtonian fluid obeys Newton's law of cooling. C. For a non-Newtonian fluid, a straight line passes through the origin in a plot between shear stress and shear gradient. D. Thin lubricating oil is an example of a non-Newtonian fluid. The correct answer is a Newtonian fluid obeys Newton's law of cooling. What is the unit of kinematic viscosity in SI unit? A. m2 sec, B. nm2 sec, C. kg sec m, D. None of these. The correct answer is m2 sec. Hydraulic works on the principle of Pascal's law of transmission of fluid pressure. A. Press, B. Turbine, C. Pump, D. Coupling. The correct answer is press. A. two-gate valve fitted in a pipe is replaced by a similar globe valve. Pressure drop in gate valve was P. For the same discharge, the pressure drop across globe valve is AP, BP, CP, DP2. The correct answer is P. The contraction coefficient for Boda's mouthpiece for frictionless fluid is A. 0.1, B. 0.5, C. 0.94, D. 1. The correct answer is 0.5. Purpose of air lift pump is to A. Compress air, B. Lift compressed air, C. Lift water from a well by using compressed air, D. Lift air under negative pressure. The correct answer is lift water from a well by using compressed air. Pick out the correct statement pertaining to venturimeter. A. A venturimeter with a fixed pressure drop discharges more when the flow is vertically downward than when the flow is vertically upward. B. The coefficient of contraction of a venturimeter is always unity. C. For a fixed pressure drop, the discharge of a gas through a venturimeter is greater when compressibility is taken into account than when it is neglected. D. None of these. The correct answer is none of these. For very low pressure and high discharge rate, the compressor used is an compressor. A. Axial, B. Reciprocating, C. Rotary, D. None of these. The correct answer is rotary. Pumping of a corrosive liquid is generally preferred to be done by a pump, as it can be made of a variety of materials including plastics. A. Piston, B. Gear, C. Positive displacement, D. Sump. The correct answer is gear. The main factor on which the behavior of a mass of fluidized solid depends mainly is the A. Fluid characteristics, B. Particle size, C. Both A and B, D. Neither A nor B. The correct answer is both A and B. What is the speed of sound msec in ordinary water? A. 1500. B. 330. C. 1000. D. 3000. The correct answer is 1500. Two piping systems are said to be equivalent when they are same. A. Fluid flow rate friction loss. B. Length friction factor. C. Diameter friction factor. D. Length diameter. The correct answer is fluid flow rate friction loss. Potential function is applicable only for flow. A. Rotational. B. Turbulent. C. Steady. D. None of these. The correct answer is A. Rotational. Which of the following exemplifies a three-dimensional fluid flow? A. Fluid flow at the inlet to a nozzle. B. Fluid flow between parallel plates. C. Viscous fluid flow between converging plates. D. None of these. The correct answer is fluid flow at the inlet to a nozzle. Volute of a centrifugal pump should be designed in a fashion such that the A. Kinetic head gets converted into static head. B. Moving stream gradually reduces velocity. C. Mean velocity remains constant. D. None of these. The correct answer is kinetic head gets converted into static head. The head loss due to sudden contraction is proportional to A. Velocity. B. Velocity head. C. Turbulence. D. None of these. The correct answer is velocity head. Cavitation occurs in a centrifugal pump when the suction pressure is A. Less than the vapor pressure of the liquid at that temperature. B. Greater than the vapor pressure of the liquid at that temperature. C. Equal to the vapor pressure. D. Equal to the developed head. The correct answer is less than the vapor pressure of the liquid at that temperature. An ideal plastic substance indicates no deformation when stressed up to yield stress but behaves like a Newtonian fluid beyond yield stress. Which of the following is an ideal plastic? A. Sewage sludge. B. Rubber latex. C. Blood. D. Sugar solution. The correct answer is sewage sludge. The capacity of a centrifugal pump can be increased by increasing the A. Impeller diameter or speed. B. Number of pumps and joining them in series. C. Number of pumps and joining them in parallel. D. All A, B, and C. The correct answer is all A, B, and C. Which law is followed by the velocity distribution in the turbulent boundary layer? A. Parabolic law. B. Linear law. C. Logarithmic law. D. None of these. The correct answer is logarithmic law. The losses in open channel flow generally vary as the A. Inverse of the roughness. B. First power of the roughness. C. Square of the velocity. D. Inverse square of hydraulic radius. The correct answer is first power of the roughness. Rise of liquid in a capillary tube is due to A. Cohesion. B. Adhesion. C. Both A, B. D. Neither A nor B. The correct answer is both A, B. Out of the following flow measuring devices, which one incurs the maximum installation cost as well as pressure loss? A. Flow nozzle. B. Vena-contracta. C. Rotameter. D. Orificimeter. The correct answer is vena-contracta. For turbulent fluid flow in pipe, the expression for Prandtl 1/7 power law is where r pipe radius x distance. A. VV max x r17. B. VV max r x17. C. VV max x r17. D. None of these. The correct answer is VV max x r17. Which of the following has the maximum compression ratio? A. Blower. B. Compressor. C. Vacuum pump. D. Fan. The correct answer is Vacuum pump. Scale-up of agitator design requires A. Geometrical similarity only. B. Dynamic similarity only. C. Both geometrical and dynamic similarity. D. All geometrical, dynamic and kinematic similarity. The correct answer is all geometrical, dynamic and kinematic similarity. The actual velocity at vena-contracta for flow through an orifice from a reservoir is given by A. CV 2gh, B. cc 2gh, C. cd 2gh, D. cv Va. The correct answer is CV 2gh. The head loss in turbulent flow in pipe is proportional to here V velocity of fluid through the pipe. A. V2, B1 V2, C1 V, D V. The correct answer is V2. Unsteady non-uniform flow is represented by flow through an A. long pipe at constant rate, B. long pipe at decreasing rate, C. expanding tube at increasing rate, D. expanding tube at constant rate. The correct answer is expanding tube at increasing rate. Prandtl number is a measure of the A. heat conduction to viscosity of a fluid, B. CP/CV of a fluid, C. elastic force to pressure force in the fluid flow, D. inertial force to elastic force in the fluid flow. The correct answer is heat conduction to viscosity of a fluid. A centrifugal pump has the following specifications: power 4 HP, speed 800 rpm, head 8 meters, flow 1000 liters minutes. If its speed is halved, then the new head will be meters. A2, B4, C8, D5.5. The correct answer is 2. In hindered settling, the particles are A. placed farther from the wall, B. not affected by other particles and the wall, C. near each other, D. none of these. The correct answer is near each other.